Hi everyone, Abdul here, and in this video I will be walking you through an AI email inbox manager agent that will literally help you to save tons of hours every single week, which would allow you to work on high ROI tasks in your business or really do whatever you want with that time. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So uh, basically, what we'll be going through in this video is what the actual AI email inbox agent is, what it actually does, and then we will cover who it's for, who actually will be able to use this type of AI agents. Because let's face it, people just have these AI agents buzzwords now, and everyone think that using any type of AI agent is just really cool, but we have to make sure that the AI agents we're using is for the right set of people and it produces a direct ROI to either their time or their businesses. And then we will be covering why you actually need it. Because you have to understand, do you really need these AI agents to begin with? If you don't, really just forget about the hype around AI agents. If you don't need it, you don't use it. And then we'll be going through a live demo of the AI agents, of how it works in real life, and then I'll be showing you the building process of how I actually built this process, these agents. So going into what it does, the AI email inbox agents, it basically monitors your email inbox in a set time interval. So for example, say once every hour, right? If we set it to be once every hour, then it's going to fetch all the emails that came into your inbox in the last hour. It will categorize them based on a predefined section we have specified in the agent. So if we have specified it to categorize emails based on work, financials, promotionals, newsletters, and so on, it will categorize those emails it fetched that came in the last hour. And then based on the categorization of this email, it will take a specific action. Each category has a separate action that it's going to take. And then after it takes that action, it's going to send in a notification to the end user, that's the owner of the email inbox. Okay, who is this for? Well, ideally, this specific AI email agent I built is for B2B business owners who usually have influx of emails and spend ridiculous amount of time sifting through their email inbox every single day, wasting ton of time on low ROI activities. So you have to note that based on your needs, you can change this AI email agents. But in this video, I'm just building for B2B business owners mostly. Uh, it's not confined to B2B business owners, really, just any CEO that deals with influx of emails on a daily basis. This would be a really good agent for them. Um, and really, anyone can use this email. If you have a lot of email coming into your inbox, then this will be a really good email, a really good AI agent that will really, really help you. It will boost your productivity. It will free up time for you to do whatever you want. Most likely for you to be working on your business, not in it, right? Okay, why you will need this AI agent? Well, think about it. If you have a very disorganized email inbox, you have your promotionals, you have newsletters, you have work, you have everything jam-packed in one place, you do not have it organized in sections or categories, it becomes really clunky and it just becomes a nightmare for you to go in there to your email inbox to read emails every day. And as a business owner, you have to go into your inbox every day. Now, if it's a mess, you would not want to be going in there every day. So if you have this AI agent working for you in the background, it's going to organize everything automatically. You don't have to do anything except for the first build. After you build it, it's going to automatically organize your whole email inbox, and then it causes you to have to retrieve emails really easily. For example, let's say you want to retrieve an email that John sent to you last week. You don't have more information except that John sent you this email last week, right? So what you're going to do is just go to, well, if it's John, he's your employee, then obviously it's going to be under the category of work. Now you go to work and then you search for emails that were sent last week, and then you look for John. I mean, it just becomes way easier for you to retrieve emails. And then It makes you to spend little to no time in your email inbox with this AI agent working in the background for you. You don't have to spend in hours in your inbox every single day, because it will categorize your emails, it will summarize your emails, and then it will send you the notification if any actions are required from your side. So you don't have to go in there manually every single day looking for what you have to do. It just automatically takes care of that for you. Um, and finally, it helps you to save hours per week, which you can use to work on high ROI tasks in your businesses, and let AI take care of the boring low ROI task for you. So now we're going to I'll show you a live demo of the AI agent and how it actually works. So I have two email inboxes open here. This one is going to send. I have 5 drafts that I've made that will be sent to this email inbox. Now, this email inbox is the one that has the AI agent connected to it. This one is just sending the email inbox, the emails. So what I'm gonna do right now is just come here and show you guys the high-level overview of how this email agent looks like. We have a trigger, we have a text classifier with a brain, and then we have these different sections here. And based on the sections, it takes a specific action. Now I'm just gonna send this email, and I'll show you how this works in real life. So we're gonna go in here, and then we'll just send this, and we'll come here, we'll send this one. Oh, I have to activate it first. uh, okay, and then we come here, hopefully it gets the first two that I sent, and then send this, and then we send this. Now if we come to our inbox, we are going to wait for a little while. Okay, so the emails just came in, and as you can see, it categorized them as work, and then we have financials, we have promotional, we have newsletters, and we have others. Now I'll just go into this email one by one, and I'll show you why it figured it like this. So if we go into work, clients closed. Hey Abdul, just wanted to let you know that we closed the client, and I'll be sending you the onboarding call link so that we can go ahead with the deal. Best regards, Sam. And this obviously looks like a work email to me, so it's labeled it as work. And if you see here, we have um, a label tool that labels this email, and then it creates a draft. Now, after creating this draft, you'll have to go back here to see if it actually did create that draft. So we'll come here and we'll see, hey Sam, that's great news. Thanks for letting me know. I'll be on the lookout for the onboarding call link. Looking forward to moving ahead with the deal. Best, Abdul. We have a Telegram notification here that it's going to send. I'll show you that in a minute. But let's go through the other emails that I sent. We have financials, software subscription. Dear user, we are writing to let you know that your subscription for this month is about to expire. To avoid getting blocked and having an uninterrupted usage of our software, please renew your subscription. Thanks, software team. This looks like and I'll show you the prompt that I wrote for it to be able to uh, categorize this under financials. And then we have promotionals, anything that have to do with selling services or products. It goes, hey Abdul, love your YouTube video stuffs. I really look forward to your videos. I just noticed that I could make your YouTube script way better and increase your conversion, thus your revenue, as we have helped Zomato. I mean, these are just things I made up by myself to do the exact same thing, and they have went from 20,000 to 50,000 in revenue in just 6 months. I am confident that we can get you the same results. If not, then we'll refund you back your money 100%. What a chat! Thanks, Ola. This obviously is a pitch, so it's labeled it as promotional, and the action we made for promotional here is just to mark it as read, right? So basically, when you have a cold email, most of the time we don't really care, we don't do shit, right? Then we have newsletters. Obviously, if you're a CEO, if you are a business owner, most of the time you're subscribed to these different newsletters. So what this does is it will just show that this is a newsletter, and then we have AI Insight weekly newsletter, and we have this whole newsletter right here. And what it does is it just creates a summary of the main points of the newsletter, and then it sends it to Telegram, and then we have others. Now, if it cannot categorize this email on what category it falls under, then obviously it's going to go to others. We need that other section that it doesn't fall into these four categories. So it's just going to say others, and we're going to leave it as unread. So it's going to be, hey man, we're gonna bowl this weekend. Are you free for lunch? Let's bowl. This is supposed to be in the text, but anyways, get the idea. So it labeled this as others. So we have work, financials, promotionals, newsletters, and others. Now I'll just go to Telegram and I'll show you guys. Okay, so this is the boat. The first one is you have an email newsletter sent by this, and here's the main gist of the newsletter. You have a newsletter about the latest advancement, and it gives you the whole summary of the newsletter. This is for the newsletter automation. If we go back here, we'll see that it creates a summary of the newsletter and it sends it to us on Telegram. And then the next one is okay, it sent it twice. You received an email from a name is supposed to be here again broken, so I'll have to check with the automation. But ideally, it's going to show you received an email from name. Here's the summary of the email. Sam is informing Abdul that the client has been closed and will be sending the onboarding call link to proceed with the deal. And a draft has been created. So you can go to the draft, and that was just what I just showed you. And then the next one is the financials. You have an email related to financials. Here's the summary. You have an email from the software team. They inform you that your software subscription for this month is about to expire, and they urge you to renew it to ensure uninterrupted usage. And then you have an email newsletter from, yeah, email newsletter. Okay, so actually it started from here. Work, financials, newsletter. Yeah, it's correct. It's good. We have work, financials, newsletter. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, now that we've seen how it works, I'm just going to show you how I actually built this agent. So we're going to go to this Gmail account. So this here are called nodes. They do a specific task, right? And to start this whole workflow, we need a trigger, and for us the trigger is a Gmail trigger. So whenever a message comes in, we have a Gmail trigger, and then obviously you're going to set your credentials, and then you're going to add a polling time here. For us, we set every minute for this demo. We don't want it to take so much time, but ideally it's going to take about once per day, maybe once every 12 hours, or if you have so much email coming into your inbox, once per hour. That's the ideal time. But we just set it to every minute just for this demo. And the event is message received, obviously, when you have a message. And then this simplified, we just turn it off because we're using the data that's coming up here. So if you see this interface, do not allow it to overwhelm you. What this is just the inputs, and this is just where you set the parameters for the actual node that you are in, and then this is the output based on the settings that you make here. So there's no big deal about this. And this is just the ID. This is just the output data. You can see it in JSON, or you can see it in a table, or you can I like to use the schema. Basically, it's more visually understanding for me. So yeah, so after we have the Gmail trigger and it fetches all the emails that you have in the last 1 minute, what it's going to do is it will feed it to this node. Now this node is called a text classifier, and this is where, based on all the emails that it feeds to this node, it's going to classify which class does this email falls under. And right here, we have the input. As I told you, this is the input to the node of the text classifier. And then we have categories, and then we have the settings of the parameters. So the first one is text to classify. And we just take the JSON.text, And if you come down here, which is going to be the email that we send, this text right here, we're going to put it here because this is the text we're having from the email. This is the text we wanted to classify. So it's just going to be dynamic right here. This is a JSON expression, right? And in categories, now this is why I was telling you previously that based on your needs, you can add how much categories you need. If you have, I don't know, this is personally for me, but if I was building this for myself, for someone else, I'll just ask them usually what categories do your emails fall under, and then we will just label that. We'll just create different classes for those categories, right? So what you're gonna do right here is just write the name of the category, which for us right is work, and then we have the description of this category. What this helps is, in simple terms, you see people when they do this kind of demo, they just have the category here without having a description. That works, but not in real life, because in real life it's more messy, it's more granular, and the AI really needs a lot of context for it to understand what email falls under what category. So ideally, we will be writing a longer prompt than this actually if it's going to be a production grade system, but this is just for demo sake. So we say any email that talks about my business, be it clients, sales, customer support, employees, meetings, etc. An example of an email from work should be talking about a meeting or a closed client or document that needs to be signed or a problem with the CRM, right? And then we have finance. We have a description for finance. We have cold outreach or promotional, and then we have newsletters. Now you can add as much categories as you need here. If you come down here, we have another one that says when no clear match. That's all these categories you've defined here. If the AI cannot tell you which category it falls in, do you want what action do you want it to take? Now obviously it's going to create another new node for all the emails that it cannot categorize based on the predefined ones that you've just talked about, right? Now obviously we're going to give it a brain. We're using OpenAI chat model and we're using GPT 4.0, right? So now based on the categories, we have the work label, we have work, we have financials, we have cold outreach, we have newsletters, and we have others. If it categorizes it as work, what do we want it to do? Well, it goes to this label here. It goes to this node here, which is a Gmail label node. What it does is it just labels an email. Now, obviously, you're going to set your credentials, connect it, and then the resource is message, and then the operation is to add a label. Now we have a message ID here. You cannot see it in this node because there's no data right now, but in the newsletter node, you're going to see how it actually functioned, because when I was testing it, there was data and it went to the newsletter node, so you will see how it works, right? So the message ID is JSON.id. We're going to take it from this input right here, the way we did for the previous Gmail node. And then the label that you wanted to add, this is where you put it, right? And you have to create that label back here in your Gmail inbox. So we have all these labels right here, and if we connect it to the Gmail account, this Gmail account right here, and you click label name or ID, then you will see all your labels that you've created in your email inbox, right? So we're going to choose work here, and then go back. Now, if it after labeling it as work, what do we want to do? Ideally, when you have an email from work, what you want to do is you want to reply. Most of the time, you reply an email from work, right? So, okay, I just messed something up right here. Gmail account, select ID, work. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so ideally you want to create a draft, right? So we have this node right here, and it's an OpenAI node. Okay, so we're right here in the draft creator node, right? And what does this node do? Well, basically it takes the email, when it's a work email, it takes that email and it creates a draft reply for that email. So basically for us to do that, and it just creates the text, right? So basically how it does that is just to create we create our credential here, And then the next one, resources, here we just go to text, and then the operation is to message a model, and then the model is going to be GPT-4o, and then the message here is just the message prompts that we have for the model. And then the next step is going to be creating the draft, right? Because what the AI node does is just to create the text, but for us to actually create the draft in our inbox, we need a node for that. And that's the Gmail node that creates a draft. So we connect our Gmail account that we want, and then we create a draft, and then the operation is going to be create, and then this is the subject in JSON format that it's in the prompt of the previous node. We told it that it would output the subject as a JSON format because we want it to be variable based on the email that we're replying to. And the email type is going to be text, and then the message is going to be, again, JSON format that we told the model to output for us that we can use in this field right here. And then after it creates the draft, we want it to basically send a notification to the user, and that's what this right here does. So the credentials were connected, the message is going to be resources, the resources is going to be message, the operation is going to be send message because that's what we're doing, and then the chat ID is going to be right here. You're going to, there's a doc for you to do that basically. And then the notification we wanted to send, basically this can be anything, but I just said you received an email from this JSON right here that outputs the name of the sender, and here's the summary of the email, and then it outputs the summary of the email. So this is generated from the Gmail node, and this is from the OpenAI node. It outputs it as a JSON expression that we can put right here, which can be a variable based on the email that it's replying to, and a draft has been created, right? So any white text is a static text, and any curly bracket text is a variable, right? And then the next one is financials. So if it's financials, what do we want it to do? Basically, we have a email summarizer right here. So it just summarizes the text of the financial email. If it's financial, it just summarizes it, and that's what we told it to do right here. It summarizes it, and it outputs some JSON format that we're going to be using in the next node here, which is going to be sending the notification to the user. Again, we're using an expression. You can write whatever you want here. You have an email related to your financials. Here's the summary, and this is the JSON that the OpenAI node outputted for us, right? And then we have promotionals. And so what do we do when it's promotional? Well, you can do whatever you want to do, right? If you want to read the promotionals, you can change the workflow. But I just think personally that these B2B finders, they have a lot of people pitching them their services. So most of the time, they don't really care. They don't give a shit about cold emails, promotional stuff. So I just put the action item mark as read. But realistically, you can do whatever you want to do with it, right? You can really just do anything. And then next we have a newsletter. If you're a founder, obviously you're going to be subscribed to some newsletters. So what we do for this newsletter is to summarize this newsletter summary. We go down here and we have the prompts. And the reason why you'll see that my prompts are a little bit long is because, to be honest, your prompts makes or break your system, right? So whatever your AI agent, I just want it to be exhaustive, and every case that can possibly happen. I cannot realistically put every possible outcome, but I just try my best to make it as robust as humanly possible, right? So I write this here, and I told it what to do, and then it's going to summarize this newsletter that comes here, and then it will send the summary to the user in Telegram. So text, you have an email newsletter sent by this this JSON expression, and here's the main gist of the newsletter, and then it just outputs the content. As you can see, content right here. We just drag it and we put it right here, okay? And then it's going to be so whatever email that comes and the OpenAI node summarizes, that's what it's going to output, okay? And then finally, we have the others label. Now, the reason I did not do any action for the others label is because if the AI agents cannot categorize which class the email that came in is under, then you want to go in there and see what email that is. So if you go to your email inbox and you see an email that's not categorized, that's not labeled, and it's not replied, and it's not marked as read, then based on this system that we built, the AI agent was not able to classify which email that was. So you have to go in there, see the content, and decide what we want to do by yourself. So as we can see, this system right here, it really helps founders, and you can really do whatever you want to do. You know, change the workflows if you want to. And by the way, if you want this workflow to just import to your end and send me a message on Twitter, I'll leave the link down below. And if you're a business owner, you've had AI agent as the new buzzword. So if you want to see if we can be able to help you to put AI agent into your business to increase your revenue or just save your time or just have a competitive edge, then there will be a link in the description below where you can book a call with me. With that being said, guys, thank you and see you in the next video.